Hey guys, this is Chris with Yellow City Car Care. We are doing our first installment of a series that we're calling Is It Critical? By is it critical, we mean is it important? Is it something you have to take care of right now, or is it something that you can wait, schedule an appointment, and not ruin your day over? First thing we're going to cover is check engine lights. It's probably the most common question we have is it important? My check engine light came on. Can I stop? Do I need to bring it in now? Do I need to call a tow truck? What do I need to do next? Well, first of all, let's start with what a check engine light is. It looks like one of these. All that light means is that the car's computer is trying to tell you that it has seen a problem that you may or may not need to handle right away. Now, a check engine light can come on one of two different ways. It can either come on and stay on solid, or it can come on and it can flash. If it comes on and flashes, that's what we call a catalyst damaging misfire, or a catastrophic misfire. It's exactly like it sounds. Something bad is happening. Something is being damaged. Something is going to be damaged if you continue driving it. Here's what you do in that situation. You pull over to the side of the road. You find a safe spot, a parking lot, something like that. You leave your car running for about 10 or 15 seconds. Doesn't take very long. And just listen. Pay attention to what your car is doing. The light continues to flash. If you hear any noise, any tinging or rattling or ratcheting, knocking, any of those horrible noises, you need to shut it off. You need to call a tow truck. Now, you also want to pay attention to how it's running. If you feel it shaking, if it's vibrating, if it's acting kind of weird, like not normal, again, shut it off and call a tow truck. If you pull over, the light was flashing and it stops flashing, sometimes it'll even go off on its own, or it will go from flashing to solid. Again, just listen, pay attention. If you feel anything shaking, anything weird, call a tow truck. If you don't feel anything weird, give it another shot. Take off, start driving again. If it happens again, stop and call a tow truck. If it doesn't happen again, the light comes on solid and stays on solid, you're probably okay to drive to where you need to go and then call somebody later on and get your car in. Find out why the light came on for sure. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of reasons that light can come on. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are not a big deal. Some of them are easy to fix. Some of them require an awful lot of work. So you just have to get it to a technician, get it to a repair shop, and have them find out what's going on. So there are a few things that can cause a misfire. What we're going to talk about right now is misfires because it's probably the most common reason that light comes on. What we mean by a misfire is that it's missing one of three important things that it needs to make a complete combustion cycle. Now, those three things are fuel, fire, and compression. Fuel is supplied by this. This is a fuel injector. A fuel injector is exactly what it sounds like it is. It injects fuel. It injects fuel out of this tiny little nozzle right here into the intake manifold or combustion chamber, depending on what kind of car you have. Fire is provided by two things. There's an ignition coil, which is what this is. This is just an example. These come in all shapes and sizes and different varieties. This is one off of a BMW. This is an ignition coil. What it does is it makes spark. It makes a whole lot of voltage really fast and supplies voltage to a spark plug, which is this. Spark plug has a tiny little gap at the end of it in which spark jumps across. Spark jumps across there at about 70,000 volts. It's really, really high. It's 70,000 volts and a couple of milliamps. Milli means tiny. Now, it will hurt you. It will sting like a bee sting. If you grab a hold of this thing when it's firing, it hurts. It's not going to kill you because milliamps don't do that much damage to a person. How this operates is this goes in there. This gets plugged into the car. This gets threaded into the combustion chamber. It's really pretty simple. So electricity comes in, high amperage, low voltage, gets changed to high voltage in here, low amperage, comes out here and goes pop, makes a little spark. That spark ignites the fuel in the chamber. Third thing we have is called compression. Compression is what happens whenever a piston comes up and the valves are closed and the air inside that chamber gets compressed really, really tightly, 150 to 200 psi on most cars. It's up there, pounds of pressure per square inch of air pressure being crushed. That compression heats the air up and smashes everything together. In that tiny little space, this little spark goes off and it sets off all that fuel and all that air that's in that chamber, and it goes bang. When it goes bang, it pushes that piston back down really hard. That's what turns the crank. Here in a little bit, we're going to do a demonstration of what combustion looks like. Hopefully, at the end of this demonstration, I still have all of my eyebrows. All right, here's what we've got. Playing the part of the ignition coil, we have an actual coil. Spark plug, we have an actual spark plug. Playing the part of a fuel injector, we have this can of brake cleaner. Pretty much any flammable liquid, lightweight flammable liquid will do. Playing the part of compression, we have shop air in the form of this little wand. What we're going to do is we're going to put compression and fuel into the cylinder. We're going to supply spark by me, the idiot, who is going to be holding this, standing way too close to what is essentially a bomb. We're going to test the tensile strength of this little bottle. Threaded into this is a spark plug. Bottle's got a hole in it to put fuel and air into it. And this, rigged up to this charger through a series of connectors and whatnot, is essentially, I'm going to be playing the part of the car's computer, which is what tells it when to fire. So the car's computer says, go bang, spark plug goes bang. It's that simple. Okay, hopefully at the end of this, again, I'm really worried about my eyebrows right now. I do have some earplugs because I'm not a total idiot. I'm only mostly an idiot. So we're going to get some earplugs in. We're going to see what happens when this actually goes bang. I don't know about you guys. I'm a little concerned for my safety right now. Just a little bit, though. Don't worry, I got insurance and all that. So, fuel. Doesn't take much. Compression. And you'll see it swirl the air around, and it makes almost like a fog inside. See the fog? Probably not. And fire. Oh. Woo! All right, that was louder than I expected. Goodness. Even with earplugs, my ears are ringing a little bit. So that's what happens whenever all those three things are working in order. You have an explosion. That explosion pushes a piston down really hard. Honestly, with a lot more force than that, even the piston goes down. Now, goes down, comes back around. The reason you don't hear the bang is all of this stuff is concealed really nice and tightly inside the combustion chamber. The noise goes out the exhaust, which almost every car has a muffler on it, which, again, does what it sounds like it does. It muffles that sound. Now, if you're missing one of those things, if you're missing fuel, fire, or compression, then you have a misfire. If it's missing bad enough, it's catastrophic. So the fuel that was in there goes into the exhaust and does damage to things. It burns in the exhaust. Instead of going bang, it actually sets a fire inside the exhaust, and it does not take long for it to destroy a catalytic converter. My advice to you is whenever you have a flashing check engine light, pull over immediately, listen, probably going to call a tow truck because it's potentially going to cost you thousands of dollars in exhaust work when you could have really honestly just been as simple as a fuel injector. This little thing installed, all that good stuff, this is probably about $200 to fix. And that's like kind of a worst case scenario for that. So definitely pull over if the check engine light's flashing. All right, heart's still racing a little bit. That was a little more explosion than I expected, I'm not gonna lie. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, share it, like it, do all that good stuff. Throw me some comments on the section. All right, thanks, bye. Oh, damn it.